the doctor is with a patient. So we're going to stick around here for a few minutes longer. Josh Blove, we'll turn it into a chat. Put your hands up if you want to talk about these issues until Dr. Marc joins us. Josh Blove, welcome to News Talk. Well, welcome to Paltalk Studio 8. Go ahead, I unred-dotted you, Josh Blove.
Okay, all right. Gary, it seems to me.
Sorry about that. The doctor is in. Dr. Marc Siegel, welcome. I've been telling everybody that this is your swan song. Unfortunately, well, fortunately for him, Dr. Siegel is going to be programming a channel on Sirius satellite radio for doctors, medical news, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But he remains a friend to this show, to Paltalk and to News Talk Online, and will be returning to join me when there is medical news to report. But I'll step aside now and let him open his show. Everybody stick around and send him off with good feelings and good tidings.
Thank you, Gary. Thanks for the handoff. And, I really wish I could keep doing it. Obviously, it's an issue of time and finances and many things, but it's been a lot of fun, and it's a great group and a really a lot of fun. I wish when I first started it, I thought it'd be something I could do for a long time, and maybe I'll come back and do it again. I'm Dr. Marc Siegel. I'm an internist and an associate professor of medicine at the NYU School of Medicine, and the author of False Alarm: The Truth About the Epidemic of Fear, and Bird Flu, Everything You Need to Know About the Next Pandemic. And I write a column for the LA Times called The Unreal World, and I'm a senior fellow in the Center for Medicine in the Public Interest, and I'm also a fellow in the Master Scholar Society at NYU. Ready for the music? Go for the music. Pretty liberal, right? Go for the music. No music. Anyway, you can all write into Paltalk and say, look, see what you can do to keep Dr. Marc here. Now that might work. You could try that. If you write into the powers that be at Paltalk, they're definitely not saying goodbye to me here. By the way, I'm leaving on my own, but you might want to write into them and tell them how much you love the show, and maybe it'll have an impact in terms of certain promises that were made, shall we say. Anyway, and Gary, by the way, is like an elder brother to me, who I adore, Gary, and I've always loved working with him, and I will come on whenever he wants me on his show, which is just fantastic. No, right to the powers that be. Anyway, what we do here is we talk about medical questions. If you have any medical questions, I'm ready to answer them. If you want to talk about the overall state of healthcare in the United States, what's going on here, why we don't have complete coverage, why we don't cover the poor, why we have under coverage of people that are in the working class, why that's being done, how that's being put over on us. We talk about that and what can be done about it. Which candidate maybe has the best plan in mind, or which candidates. How do we maintain medical quality in the face of the changing healthcare system in this world with more technology and less guides to take you through it? Don, Chicago 48, you're on the mic with Dr. Marc.
Well, Doctor, you bring up some interesting questions, and certainly they are a cause for concern. However, if there's an underlying assumption there that somehow the government could somehow run the healthcare system better than the private sector, I have yet to see any other examples of such a case. In fact, in general, I find the government to be quite incompetent at running anything complex, and we know how complex the healthcare sector is. You know, what I would like to see are some ways for individual people to be more empowered to essentially take control of their own health care and to not be in a situation where health care gets rationed because the government has artificially jacked up the demand for it. You know, those are real concerns that I have.
You know, Don, you ask a series of complicated questions. First of all, since I have the mic, I get the chance to say something you're not going to like without you yelling at me. And so here's what it is. I'll start with this. I don't think that healthcare is elective. I think that it's a staple service that living in an organized society, we have an obligation to provide to everyone. That's what I believe. Now, I'm not alone in that belief. That is the belief in Europe. That is the belief in I was going to say in Canada, but I'm not sure. Canada's a complicated system. Let's say Canada for the moment. It is the belief in certain states in the United States. So here's the thing. If that's true, then even if you're right that the government's not doing a good job at this, it's still a governmental obligation. Then it becomes controversial, because I have to tell you, Medicare, though it's very unpopular and gets bashed by everyone, actually runs at a low overhead cost. It's got a limited bureaucracy compared to some of the insurance companies. Oh, the insurance companies know how to cut into the dollar, and they know how to ration care all right to make a profit. But to expand insurance coverage or managed care coverage to cover the underinsured or the uninsured practically guarantees a loss of quality of health care in the United States. So I'm more of in the Ted Kennedy school of this, to go about trying to expand government coverage in a way that retains some quality. I think that Medicare is underrated, but I know that I'm in the minority on that, Don. I know I am. But I kind of believe, like you believe, though, that all aspects of this, there's no sense of personal responsibility, there's no sense of responsibility to the patient. You know, everybody has their agenda, but why don't you expect private insurance to have profit as their agenda? That's what they're in business for. Now, there's a lot of regulations trying to protect citizens from that. It's not exactly free enterprise when it comes to medical care, but somehow, some way, we've managed to regulate our way to the 6-minute doctor's visit, and isn't that a lot of fun? And that's not entirely the doctor's fault either. A lot of doctors are leaving medicine, and that's a whole another issue. DJ Exotic, you're on with Dr. Mark. DJ, you're on the mic.
Hey, Dr. Mark, how you doing today? I got a medical question. It's about my father. He is 61 years of age. He has rheumatoid arthritis, and it's been dealing with the VA clinics for a couple of years now. He has just passed over a cold, which he still has, and then he developed a sore throat. And now he is in the hospital. Hiccups that he's had for over 24 hours, almost 2 days, and they can't figure out how to stop this. They've been feeding him some kind of sodium to control it, but it does not work. Every time he drinks a cup of water, they come back. Would you happen to have any ideas on how we can get rid of this?
Well, you know, hiccups, intractable hiccups are its own thing, and the first question is there something going on in the patient's chest? That has to be worked up. The second question is how to get rid of it. And it's, you know, I can't say specifically in his case because I don't know him. Sometimes low-dose Thorazine can be helpful, believe it or not. I'm not kidding you. And that sometimes helps, and that's probably something they should try. But beyond that, I don't have a crystal ball on that, but they've got to make sure there isn't something underlying there. Straight